Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 192 of the Terminal City FC podcast, part of the Area 51 Sports Network. Josh Ray joined alongside Nathan Dirk as per usual, talking all things football. Hello to everyone live viewing on our YouTube channel and the Area 51 Sports Network Twitter/X page, and of course, anyone those listening on the Area 51 Sports on any podcast platform that you have. So, Vancouver Whitecaps battled with first place San Diego FC in San Diego over the weekend. A 1-1 draw, and given the if you saw the game, you saw how tense it was. The draw seems justifiable.
Yeah, it really does. 1-1 draw was actually a pretty exciting game. It was definitely a defensive, very tactical battle. Sorensen went back to the 4-3-3, mainly to kind of match the 4-3-3 that San Diego's doing, overload that midfield. I think it was the right decision. The 3-4-3 or the 5, whatever you want to call it, from the previous match. I don't think really it would have been too bunkered down in this game. You would have never seen the Whitecaps get out of their end. And to the credit of this game, we didn't see the Whitecaps get out of their end that often. But when they did, they were dangerous on those transitions.
Yeah, and on the first goal late in the first half, off all the work from Laborda and Ocampo on the flanks, and it's an own goal to Dua, but Laborda took the initial shot, but it went off Dua, and the Whitecaps were up 1-0. But again, all the work goes to Laborda and Ocampo on the flank.
Yeah,
They were busy in the first half.
It was always going to be an own goal. If Dua wasn't there, that ball would have just sailed wide. I believe.
Probably,
so. Yeah. But yeah, interesting that it was both of the wide men that were involved in that. Ocampo has been playing with such a level of confidence now. I was very happy to see a lot of the antics of the previous game gone. So that made me happy. And he just got to playing the game. He was taken off at the half, and I can understand why. I believe at that point he was on a yellow, and just the nature of the game was starting to shift. So I can understand, turning things around, moving Laborda to the other side, putting on Tate Johnson, going to a bit more of a traditional fullback system. Unfortunately, they just weren't able to hold on, and in the 79th minutes, San Diego found their place.
Yeah, and Whitecaps were pinned in their own half for a lot of the second half and a lot of the game. Pilcher, it's off the corner. The Whitecaps failed to clear, but the young center back Pilcher just blasted it like with a hockey term through his screen and past Yohei Takaoka.
Yeah, there was no way Takioka was going to see that when he had that many bodies in front of him. I believe that's also Pilcher's first ever professional goal. So credit to the guy. The other thing I think we should mention is Renko Veselinovic. He pulled up after chasing down a duel partway through the match. Went down. Initially, it looked like he was holding his hamstring. He did try to play through it. Eventually was subbed off. That was in the first half, I believe. And it has come out as of yesterday that he has suffered a season-ending ACL tear.
Which is a massive loss for the Whitecaps. We all know how good Renko has been. He's a leader on this squad. He's
been the leader. He's been the captain since Gald's been gone.
Yep. And there goes the captain and the vice captain. At least Gald is slowly working his way back, but losing Veselinovic is a big blow to that back line, given what he can do. Again, one of the best center backs in MLS this season, and you would have to think that the Whitecaps would have to, are taking a look at signing another center back in the transfer window, and maybe we could try signing Luke DeForgeron on loan.
It's going to be interesting. They have to bring someone in the back. There's no choice now with Adekube and Veselinovic both out on season-ending injuries. They need someone. It's not even a question anymore, unless they want to test and bring someone up from Whitecaps 2 that they think might be ready to sit on the bench and allow Halbouni to have some more consistent minutes. Because right now your backline pairing, in all likelihood, is going to be Utvik and Blackman.
And
Diffuserals. Just recently signed a brand new 4-year contract with Fulham. He's been a part of the Fulham U21s, I believe.
Yeah, their second team. Hasn't
Yeah.
played a first team game.
No, but he is a player that Fulham is very high on. When he was re-signed, there was a lot of relief amongst kind of the Fulham faithful. I don't know, and I don't know what that means. Does that mean that they're signing him with the expectation that he's going to jump up to that first team? I don't know. Maybe a preseason under his belt this year will decide that for Fulham. If not, a loan for Diffugerals seems to make sense. And the Whitecaps, we know we're already in on him earlier, this month.
In June.
In June, thank you. I think it would be something that the Whitecaps would definitely revisit, but it's going to depend on Fulham. They hold all the cards on this. It's going to be up to them whether or not they believe he's ready for first team minutes with their squad.
And it'll be up to Diffugerol to decide if he wants to come to the Whitecaps on loan or stay in England to go to the championship.
One thing with Diffugerol is, even though he plays for England, he's born in London.
Yeah.
Right? Fulham is a London club. So
his dad is Canadian.
Yeah.
From Quebec.
But I can understand if he wants to stay in his hometown. So it's going to be a difficult decision.
Yeah, but back to
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Back to the Whitecaps. There was chances to win the game against San Diego. Brian White missed chance in the first half, second half as well. This one, Jaden Nelson, just the speed, the nutmeg on the San Diego defender, but White from a tight angle just hooked it wide.
Yeah, there were a number of chances. You're absolutely right, but nothing on net. Whitecaps only had one shot on target this entire game, and you can't include the goal because the goal was an own goal. This was all you knew. This was always going to be a difficult game. I'm satisfied with the draw because it's San Diego. I know it is a missed opportunity to retake the top of the West, but I don't know. I guess you got through this hard period. You got through it relatively undamaged. And now you get to come home and actually make a dent in the race to the top.
Yeah, and it's just, you could argue that the Whitecaps didn't do enough offensively against San Diego, which I wholeheartedly agree. They didn't do enough to have a chance of winning the game. And San Diego were pushing.
I was curious about whether or not they should switch Sabi and Nelson opposite sides.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Both are right-footed players, but Sabi does well coming off the wrong foot. Nelson, does as well, but I did wonder if maybe a switch at the half might allow Nelson to just use his pace a little bit more rather than having to worry to cut inside, especially once they took off Ocampo.
Yeah. And yes, Sabi I believe he has played on the other side this season already.
Numerous times,
yeah. And same with Nelson. Could have given him more freedom, to use his pace. So
it wouldn't have worked if Ocampo was still on there. You don't want him and Nelson bounding down the same side. That just would have just been stepping on each other's toes. But once you make that switch and you have someone like Laborda, who I think can read that situation a little bit better with his experience in the game, yeah, it's something I might have considered. But you know what? They didn't. It was a tough game. I thought it was a good game all around for all the center backs.
Yeah, and good credit to Bilal Halbouni, though he did have that one turn giveaway the moment he came on, but other than that, he looked quietly good at the back.
He did as well, absolutely. For me, the center backs on both teams, though, I think even regardless of the own goal, Dua was the best guy on the pitch.
Yeah, and they managed to keep Brian White at bay. And also, a lot of credit goes to Kubis, Badwall, and Berhalter.
Yep, it was a much better midfield
doing their job. Yeah, and they were
and Takioka, right? Let's
made some big saves,
credit some big saves in that game.
especially off Dryer. Like Dryer
Yes.
had numerous chances
Yeah.
in the game, and I think to note that fouls were 20-2 in favor of the Whitecaps.
I know. I mean, it was a bit of a messy game on the Whitecaps' part, but I think that was part of the game plan to knock San Diego off their rhythm. So, it worked.
Yeah, and there's this one weird VAR situation with Kubas in the second half.
You know what? I don't think I have ever seen a penalty being given. A penalty not being given.
Not
the referee being called to the monitor to look at whether or not it should be a penalty, and the referee then to not only disagree with VAR, but to cancel his original call.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that either. And it looked like
ever.
Looked like they were looking at a handball, possible foul on Kubas, though it looked like Kubas was fouled by the San Diego player, and
he was.
It took that long,
but the handball was before the foul, so
yeah.
I don't think the foul wouldn't have mattered. It's a tough one. It hit his hand.
Yeah,
was his
hand in a natural
position? That's a 50-50.
I thought it was going to be a penalty because it looked like it was on the line.
I thought it was going to be a penalty too, especially with just how long they were taking.
It took that so long.
You know what? It's one of those instances where you're like, this is why we have VAR.
Yeah, then the referee disallowed. Was like, oh, I've never seen that. Okay.
Yeah.
After all that, nothing given.
I get it. It takes a long time. It can disrupt the rhythm of the game, but it's football. I mean, let's be honest. Half an hour of a 90-minute match is spent with nothing happening. It's in between the whistles already. So the rhythm's already being disrupted.
Yeah. And
I think I was reading they were doing it was back when they were talking about whether or not IFAB wanted to move to 60-minute games with stop time. They were looking that on average in Europe, only between 55 to 59 minutes of a game was actually playing time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anyone who says that the argument is that it's going to disrupt the rhythm of the game, don't worry. That rhythm gets disrupted hundreds of times a match already.
Yeah, it's been like that since the beginning of football.
Mm-hmm.
And, some of the refs' calls were a little weird, but other than that, Whitecaps also had a chance to win it at the end with Daniel Rios, but a lot of credit goes to the goalkeeper of San Diego, Cisnega.
Yeah.
A big save at the end off Rios.
And oddly enough, that was the Whitecaps' first shot on target.
I'm just seeing here they had 3 on target.
Oh, really? I'm only showing 1.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Google feed.
So
I'm not sure how accurate it is.
I don't know. Yeah, I usually use something else, but just pull that up. Anyway, we should talk about that. Even though the Whitecaps did lose Veselinovic, they did bring in Kenji Cabrera. We talked about him last week. The deal is finally done. U22 initiative contract through to the end of 2028. Club option for 2029. Just waiting for the visa.
Yeah, and given South American players, it takes a while. Look what happened to Vite, Ocampo, and Kubas when they signed. But Axel said in the press release that they hope to have it done by mid-August or earlier.
His visa is going to become, because he's actually Japanese born. So I'm assuming that's going to be based off his citizenship, which I'm assuming he's half Japanese, half Peruvian. I'm assuming his citizenship has to be Japan.
I assume he has dual citizenship.
Yeah. The one thing is the Whitecaps have done that before on a couple of occasions. So,
yep. Just hopefully it doesn't. Like last year with Ocampo, didn't take it. We didn't see him until September. Hopefully, it doesn't take that long.
I know. Anyway, Cabrera so far in 2025 with FBC Melgar in the top league of Peru, 26 appearances, 9 goals, 4 assists, which is pretty good for for his age and also for being a midfielder. He's made 14 appearances with Peru's U20 side.
And
he has been called up to the national
Minsta.
senior team, he hasn't made an appearance yet, but he has
Yeah,
been called up this year so far.
March and in June. So he joins Ocampo as the two U22 players for the Whitecaps. And just looking at the replies from Melgar fans to Cabrera's announcement, they wish him well and
Yeah.
good luck, which is always a very good sign to
He was a
see.
player, I think, that really started to come into his own this year. Obviously,
Yep.
that's when you start getting noticed by other teams in other leagues. We can say the same with Pedro Vite and getting noticed by Liga MX. So one in, one out. But
Yep.
I don't think this is the end.
No,
Whitecaps
this
are
is
very,
not the
very
end. Given what Axel Schuster said a couple weeks ago, he said names, not name.
Not only that, but with the season-long ending injuries that they have to two, basically starting 11 players, two names that would always be on a team sheet. I had said only two signings I expected. You had said three last week. I'm thinking three now as well.
Yeah, and the Whitecaps are gonna hopefully enjoy Cabrera's versatility as a winger and a central midfielder, and the strong lower body he has that we talked about last week in his service. But just reading Kalen Wilkins' deep dive, that he doesn't take a lot of shots, which apparently that's something he needs to work on.
If for a guy who doesn't take a lot of shots, to have 9 goals in 26 matches already this season,
that's
coming from the midfield, that's pretty good. It makes me wonder, what is his, if he doesn't take many shots, what is his shot conversion rate? It's got to be pretty good then.
Yeah, it's got to be. But it'll take him time, obviously, to get settled in and adapt. But given what he's proven already, it seems that this is a player that can not only grow and develop, but take his game to a different level with the Whitecaps.
Absolutely. Moving into the wider level of MLS, I don't know if any of you saw, but CF Montreal put out a pretty interesting letter earlier at the time of this broadcast. I think it was only about 1 or 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bring it up here.
Yeah.
It was in English and French, obviously, and we've talked about already that how much of a mess, a dumpster fire, or whatever you want to call them, that CF Montreal are. Where is it? Share screen. So here it is.
Honestly, not a lot is written in this letter. There's two things. One, there's an acknowledgement this hasn't been the season everyone wanted. Obviously, I think that goes without saying. And two, a commitment to do better in upcoming transfer windows to start a rebuild. Rebuild, I believe, is the word. Yeah, they actually, in the third paragraph, we've decided to undertake a rebuild, launch a new chapter at CF Montreal. You know what?
At least something.
It's an extremely tiny step on a very long road. If they don't do anything, this is also something that you can hang them on, right?
Yeah, it's we'll believe it when we'll see it. And
that's what
that club desperately needs a rebuild on and off the pitch.
They need the Saputos to be silent owners.
Well, that's it's Luca and Simeone. I believe that's Joey's sons.
Yeah, I know Joey has taken a step back, but yeah, he just. I don't know. I agree with you. I'll believe it when I see it. The thing is we have seen Montreal do phenomenal before. I mean, it wasn't that long ago they were topping the East.
Yeah, but they lost a lot. Wilfred Nancy, they lost Alistair Johnston, Ismail Kone, Jordi Mihalovic, and couldn't replace them.
And now they've lost Saliba as of this year.
Yep. And apparently Jonathan Sirwa too, but it's all on loan.
That's true as well. Yeah, you know what? This is a club that I still think, out of any club in MLS, is the danger club, right? Like they're the one that are in danger of leaving MLS. And I don't think that has anything to do with the fans. I think it has to do with the ownership.
Yeah, and it's one thing to say that you're gonna do something, but you gotta put actions to back up your words. Do
Well, we
actions
have
rather.
transfer window right now. So if they said we're going to see in the upcoming transfer windows, I'm including this one right now. Show
Yeah.
me what you're going to do. You better get
The,
busy.
yeah, and the window opens tomorrow for all MLS clubs.
Yep. There you go.
Um, but back to the Whitecaps for a bit. Yohei Takaoka in the All Star Skills competition yesterday becomes the first goalkeeper in the history of the All Star game to hit the crossbar in the crossbar challenge, and he won it for the MLS All Stars.
He did. Yeah. You can actually take a look. The video is up there. Uh, you know what? Who thought that a goalkeeper would have that level of accuracy? We you know what? We've always said he's good with his feet. Now he's
Yeah,
proving it.
he's good with kicking the ball, and there you go.
Yeah.
Prime example.
Pretty funny. This is the first time the MLS All Stars have beat Liga MX in the overall skills competition since 2022.
Yeah,
Again, it's the All Star competition. I don't care.
the skills
This is
competition is
one
always
level
more
above a
entertaining than the game.
participation trophy, but sure.
Yeah, and you know what? Good for Takaoka.
Yeah.
For showcasing his skills on a national, international level. And the All Star game is tonight in Austin. Takaoka, Blackman, Brian White, and Sebastian Berhalter will feature four
Yeah.
All Stars for the Whitecaps.
Not bad.
To the CPL, to the cross the Lower Mainland to Vancouver FC, as per Michael McCall of AFTN. Head coach Ashton Gotby of Vancouver FC has been fired, and Martin Nash, yes, that Martin Nash, Steve's brother, former Whitecap and former York United head coach, has took over training yesterday.
Yeah, so this is some of that news that hasn't really made the rounds anywhere else. At least I haven't been able to find, but I don't think this is a firing that should surprise anyone. The only thing is, I guess we should be surprised at how long it took to get done.
Yeah, it should have happened last year, a few months ago, and I was talking to someone a few weeks ago about Ashton Godby that he was on a lucrative contract, and to fire him, they would have bought him out, and it looks like they've just done that.
Yeah. Right now,
And
Vancouver FC, in 15 matches so far this season, they have one win. They're sitting on 8 points. Their draws at least make them tied with Valor. But yeah, there's nothing about this season that they should be hanging their hats on. And you're right. This goes back until last season. I think if it wasn't for the fact of how expensive that contract would have been to buy out, you got to think that he would have been gone in the offseason.
and Vancouver FC, we've talked about their problems already. Like, for example, a lot of young players on that team, and like 5 or 6 senior players.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Nicholas Mosquito, but he's obviously not the same Nicholas Mosquito we saw with the Whitecaps. And
they've got a lot of former Whitecaps on their team. You've got
Vasco Fry, Academy Project, Mateo Campagna.
Yeah.
But a lot of like guys who are like young, and just not a lot of cohesion under Godby. Not a lot of scoring. Defending was all over the place. Players were played out of position. Vancouver FC just did not look like a proper club.
No. Right now, it's interesting that they brought in Martin Nash. Obviously, he's from the area. Wasn't he like? It's been a number of years since he's been in coaching.
Yeah, he was York's coach, I believe.
Yeah, but that was a
while ago.
Quite a while ago. So it'll be interesting if that's just an interim basis. It's interesting that they seem to have brought in an interim from outside, that it isn't someone from the coaching staff they already have. But Martin Nash, definitely a name that's very synonymous with not only Canadian football, but local football in Vancouver and the Lower Mainland.
Yeah. And there are people on Michael's tweet that Vanni Sertini should take over. Oh, they're gonna have to offer him a lucrative contract, and
Not happening.
that's not happening.
Not happening. Vanni Sartini, he's going to
He
have
deserves.
his choice of where he wants to go this summer if he wants to go. But my guess is somewhere in Europe. I think he'd like to stay in North America, but I would not be surprised if he's somewhere back in Europe.
Yeah, like in the Serie B or anywhere else in Europe. He's still around town though.
Rumor is that there was a Greek side interested in him at one point. So
He. I mean, there's been rumors of him going to other MLS clubs that had coaching vacancies, but
yeah,
for Vancouver FC, I don't know. Is not Martin Nash going to be the permanent head coach or the interim? And Mike Halford, he tweeted that everyone's saying Vanny for the gig, but the guy they should be looking at is Michael D'Agostino. I think D'Agostino would have to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
And he seems happy where he is right now.
Yeah, I don't see him leave. I mean, the fact that he stayed in between different regimes with the Whitecaps, he's that one constant. Don't get me wrong. He is someone that I think an MLS club might become interested in, maybe to be a head coach of a second side, with the idea of moving him up to a top side.
I could see him going to the CPL if he wanted to.
I think if he wanted to, a team would be very, very interested in him. I don't know, but in the brief conversations we've had, I don't see him leaving Vancouver.
Yeah, and he, from the interview I did with him a few months ago, he enjoys being the assistant coach of the Whitecaps. Essentially his hometown club, and he enjoys working with Jesper Sorensen.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it's Vancouver FC. Something got to give, and it was like the same dull product. No, dull is like putting it lightly every week. And let's see if this changes anything. Like this salvages anything for this season. The other Vancouver team, the Vancouver Rise, a win, but not just a win, a big win, biggest win in club history. I think one of the biggest like score lines in the NSL's history.
Yeah.
So 6-0 win in Halifax. Just pure domination from the Vancouver Rise.
This is one that they needed, especially on the road where they haven't actually had much luck.
Yeah, they haven't won a game
this season so far. A brace comes from Holly Ward.
Oh, that first goal though,
I know.
The speed, the shot.
Quinn and Stanton from the midfield both get on the score sheet. Mariah Lee, striker, and I believe
Jasmine Spencer,
yeah. So again, this is Halifax. Halifax has started to do marginally better since they had their coaching change. The one nice thing though is it starts putting some distance between the Rise and the bottom of that table. They've now actually jumped over Calgary into fourth, and I mean, still that kind of the bottom four clubs are still very, very, very close.
Yeah, it's a very tight table. I'm just going to bring it up here.
But Vancouver's got a very big test tomorrow in the fact that they're going to be playing Toronto at home at Swangard Stadium. I will be there. But the top club in the league right now is AFC Toronto.
AFC Toronto. And I think, just looking at the win in Halifax, let's hope this is the start of a run of wins. And it gives a win like that gives confidence to anyone on that team.
It does.
And now you guys got to translate it to a team other than Halifax, because all of the Rise's wins have been against Halifax.
Really?
And
I hadn't actually put that together. That is concerning. I think with the Rise, they also did say that they expect to be busy in the upcoming transfer window.
They already signed someone. Let me just bring it up here. A Japanese players. So Whitecaps signed a Japanese-born player. The Rise signed a Japanese-born player,
You're right.
and they were announced on the
Yuka
same day.
Okamoto, defender.
Yep. Well,
Uh,
they
yeah,
need some
she is coming from over
AC
100.
Nagano Parciro ladies, 80 league appearances, and one goal in the Japanese Women's League, and is an alumni of Nippon Sports Science University Fields in Yokohama, Yohei Takaoka's hometown.
Interesting signing, being a defender. I do wonder if this is someone that they're really hoping to be able to pair with Shannon Wooler. We have seen they haven't really found a defensive pairing to work with her yet.
Yeah, they haven't.
I know Cowart was with her for a while. Then they brought in, the name's escaping me, but they kind of seem to be bouncing back and forth. There hadn't been a whole lot of consistency. So if they can find someone that can really work with Shannon Wooler, especially to take some of the work off her, because I believe she's still leading the league in touches and passes.
I believe she's up there in minutes too.
In minutes as well. I don't think she has missed a minute. If I'm right,
Yeah, I think she's played literally every game,
every single minute of every single game. Also to help out McCaslin as well, because while the Rise, maybe have had a few goals against them more than other teams, no one's made more stops than McCaslin.
Yeah, and a lot of those goals against the Rise this season, you can't really blame on McCaslin.
Yeah. So interesting signing. I do like it. I don't think they're done yet. So this is interesting.
Sinead King, I believe she said that Rise would be busy in the transfer window, and the head coach Anya Heiner-Muller said in the press release that Yuka Nakamoto is very highly technical and has an offensive mindset, and that fits her system.
There we go.
So looks like we have not just a defender who can, bring stability at the back, but can provide some passes out from the back.
All right, time to jump over.
Yep. So the world champions, Chelsea, are pushing to sign more players, and here come the jokes. Oh, they have 1,000 players. Oh, their population is bigger than the world. Oh, all those jokes I've seen on social media. Well, players are going out. People seem to forget that, but players coming in, one that Tottenham's been looking at, one that Arsenal's been looking at. Xavi Simons, the young Dutch winger / central attacking midfielder, for years has been seen as like one of Europe's brightest prospects, one of the best prospects, rather. And even though he signed a new deal with RB Leipzig in the spring or the winter, he wants to leave because there's no Champions League for them. Which is honestly, the guy has ambition.
Yeah.
And Chelsea are pushing hard for him. He has pretty much said yes to the Chelsea project. Personal terms are close, according to Fabrizio Romano. And a lot of sources, including Romano, say the fee could be around 55 to 60 million. Which honestly, given Xavi Simons' potential, that's kind of a steal. Putting the Noni Madueke money to good use. And it's just funny because Arsenal paid 52 million for Noni Madueke. That money's going to Xavi Simons, who they also wanted. And then I said they needed a center back. Well, this guy can play center back and left back. Jairo Hato, who I mentioned last week. Personal terms are close, according to Fabrizio Romano. Hato has also said yes to the project. And now it's just a matter of the fee, which could be around 40 to 60 million plus. But apparently, even though if they sign Xavi Simons, do not roll out Morgan Rogers or Alejandro Garnacho, because those links just won't die, especially the Garnacho one, because he's been linked to a lot of clubs, not just Chelsea, but Chelsea the most, apparently. So that also depends on attackers going out. And speaking of attackers going out, Nicholas Jackson has rejected AC Milan and Napoli. He wants to stay in the Premier League if he leaves. But Fabrizio Romano reports that his priority is to stay and fight for his place at Chelsea. Honestly, I can't really, be too upset about that. Like, if he wants to stay and fight for his place, that shows that he wants, to prove he belongs at the club and amend for the mistakes of last season. But if that's not possible, he can move to Man United in a potential swap deal for Garnacho. And Raheem Sterling and his £350,000 wage per week, which I still can't believe. Apparently, Bayer Leverkusen are monitoring him, and Chelsea set a £20 million price tag. So that's
which Arsenal will take.
Given that his loan experiment failed there, it's not happening. I wish it would though.
But I thought that's what they do. They just sign your players.
Yeah.
You sign Brighton's players. Arsenal signs yours.
Yeah, and
Spurs sign Southampton's.
Yep. And Strasbourg is the development club
for everyone.
So it's up to Sterling if he wants to go to Leverkusen. Up to Leverkusen if they want to pay the $20 million, which honestly they could have him for free. But we'll see what happens there. Because a few months ago, Sterling was linked to Fulham. Like, if he wants to stay in London, that could be an option, but nothing really has come up. And I think dating back to last year, he's been linked to MLS. Don't know which MLS team would sign him, though. And no, not the Whitecaps.
LAFC.
Yeah, not the Whitecaps, just for those already thinking that.
Yeah.
And then RB Leipzig also want to sign Carney Chukwuemeka, who just hasn't really worked out over the past year, and I think Maresca just doesn't rate him that much, and he's dealt with injuries. Talk set to open today. No, I don't think this is going to be a swap deal for Xavi Simons, though. And other than that, and Cuckoo leaving, it's only a matter of time. Romano reports several top clubs interested. I know for sure one of them has to be Bayern Munich because he's been heavily linked to them. But other than that, it seems like that Chelsea are doing the transfer business pretty well and are, buying and selling because that's what they do. And people are going to complain.
Yeah.
So Tottenham as well. Our preseason's already underway for you guys.
Yeah, preseason already started. First match against Reading. 2-1 or 2-0 win, I should say. Goals coming from Will Lancashire and Luka Vuskovic. Two guys that I really want to see in and around the club this year. Lancashire had a couple of games with Spurs in the first half of the season, especially in Europa League. I think he had at least one, I think maybe 2 goals. Did kind of tail off towards the end, ended up going on loan in January. Vuskovic spent the entire season on loan. I want to say Netherlands, but
probably
dominated.
Hey,
this is one of those guys that's considered a European wonder kid at the center back position. I want to see him stay with Spurs and fight for his spot, especially with the new Japanese player that Spurs bought for the center back position as well, because those are 2 very young players. I believe both of them. Vuskovic might be 20, but I know the Japanese players, the name's escaping me. I believe he's only 19.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting to see that. Interesting was Cristiano Romero captained this game. He's still a part of the preseason squad. The talk with Atletico Madrid seems to have cooled a little bit because Spurs basically said, we want a flat rate 70 million or nothing. And so far, Madrid hasn't been able to meet that unless it included bonuses.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Died down there.
Yeah, the talk definitely has died down. So, transfer rumors. We do know that there is still a center back that's being looked at. 2 names that keep popping up. Mark Gay. Haven't heard a lot about him, but we know that Spurs are still interested in him.
Liverpool is heavily interested.
Also, is Ilya Zabiarny? I believe I'm saying that right.
Yeah,
out of Bournemouth. Really came into his own last season. Definitely one of the center backs that a lot of teams are paying attention to. It looks like it's kind of a battle between Spurs and PSG. PSG did put in a 60 million euro bid. It was rejected. It's rumored that the Bournemouth has a price tag of 70 million euros on the player. So here's where it gets a little bit interesting. We know that the player likes both teams because both teams are going to be Champions League, prefers PSG, but as of yesterday, Spurs met the price tag. This would be the biggest transfer fee that Spurs has ever paid. It would beat the Solanke, I believe, or it comes close. I think Solanke was 60 million pounds. 70 million euros, I believe, is 61 point something pounds.
I think it would just beat it.
It just beats it, yeah. So right now, it's going to be
also from Bournemouth, by the way, Solanke.
It looks like, yeah, there you go, right? It looks like both teams can meet the players' personal terms. It's just a matter of whether or not PSG steps up and puts in a full bid. Right now, Spurs are hoping to sway his mind and get this deal done quickly. Morgan Gibbs-White.
Yeah, that situation.
Still waiting. Apparently, the player has not joined Nottingham Forest on their preseason trip to Portugal. Apparently, it has absolutely nothing to do with anything else. It's just personal reasons. Player has full permission not to be there, and it has said that he will be joining them at a later date.
Okay.
He still won't sign a new contract with them, though. Bournemouth. Forest desperately wants him to sign a new contract with a much higher release clause. Players have been refusing for, half a year now?
Yeah.
Spurs still think that they can get this done. It'll be interesting because Forest has basically threatened to sue not only Spurs, but Morgan Gibbs-White's agent, where they believe the leak came from. Honestly, don't know where this is going. One player that has left his team's preseason without permission is Yohan Wissa of Brentford. So this is a player that a number of teams are looking at. Spurs, I believe Liverpool is looking at him. A couple of others, big teams. He's basically been kind of unnerved a little bit. Definitely wants to talk to other teams. Brentford is trying to get him to sign a brand new contract so that he doesn't leave. He wants to leave for Champions League football. So he's left the club to basically
he could join Thomas Frank at Tottenham.
Yeah. But the thing is Brentford was not expecting to lose Wissa and Muembo in the same transfer window. That leaves them deadly thin at top.
Yeah.
So I can understand Brentford's problem. But if you've got a player like this and now wants to go, not only that, but with these two players, you're going to be getting about 110 million pounds between the two of them. You should be able to do something.
Yeah, it should be able to get reinforcements.
Exactly. And as we talked about with Chelsea, interest in Man United's Alejandro Garnacho. Amorim wants him gone. So he is going to be gone.
And he wants to leave,
too. Matter of where. Whether it's Spurs, whether it's Chelsea, whether it's somewhere else in Europe.
Yeah. He wants to stay in the Premier League.
Yeah. But we'll just have to wait and see where it is he actually ends up going. The other one that's kind of out of left field was Bayern Munich's João Palhinha. Apparently Spurs have registered some interest. Midfielder. Spurs have talked about needing a very strong defensive-minded midfielder. But Palhinha didn't have the greatest year at Bayern Munich last year.
He didn't really play a whole lot either.
I think he only came in for like 9 matches. But you know what? A change of scenery might do him well. I believe he's up there. I think he's like 30 years old. So in terms of Spurs saying that they want someone experienced in that position, definitely fits the bill. It's not Morgan Gibbs-White, who would have been really nice, but this is the backup, I guess, that they're looking at. Other than that, I mean, it's nice to have transfer talk again after the whole, not too sure what's happening with Nottingham Forest and Gibbs-White, but no one new coming in as of yet.
Yeah,
besides, kudos.
Yeah, and same for Chelsea. Just, but it looks like those two signings I mentioned, it's only a matter of time. So before we go, one big news here out of England: the UK football regulator bill has become law.
Yeah, so we knew this was going to come. This actually was supposed to happen under the previous regime that that was sitting in Parliament in
Oh,
the
the
UK.
Sunak.
Didn't happen because an election got called, so the bill
Yep.
didn't go through. It has gone through. Bill received royal assent just on Monday. It is now law, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Basically, what this means is an independent football regulator in England. They'll have the ability to basically enact and impose new financial regulations, what they believe will have long-term sustainable future. Obviously, clubs are arguing that, saying that it's actually going to be a disincentive. Stronger tests on rogue owners. So think Reading, think the guy that used to be in charge of, what was it, Cardiff back in the day, Bury, Macclesfield, all those guys. New standards for fan engagement on club decision making. Now, a lot of clubs have already done this after the whole European League fiasco. They've created supporters groups that are involved in input in some way. This basically just now codifies that. A ban on clubs joining closed shop competitions and breakaway leagues. That's
like
the
Super League.
That's the big one. No Super League. You join a Super League, you're out of England, is basically what it is. Backstop powers to ensure fair financial distribution between leagues. My guess is this is going to be something that takes over from the whole parachute payment system of payments kind of going down. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't think anyone does yet. And protections to key club heritage aspects, like protecting home colors, badges, and potential stadium moves. So it gives fans basically the ownership of those symbols of a club, basically.
So if a team leaves their former stadium,
they've got to basically make sure that they stay in the neighborhood, or they've got to work with the team to figure out where that's going to be. You can't just change a club's colors, like, again, Cardiff, who went from blue to red for a few years because the owner liked red,
which was weird,
and things like that. So again, this is now law. It's very fresh. There's been a lot of talk as to what this was going to mean, both good and bad, depending on what side of the ownership bubble, I guess, that you're on. But it's only been law for 2 days, so it's way too early to say what is actually going to happen. And I think we're going to have to wait for a club that is heading into some sort of financial difficulty again to see just how much teeth this bill gives a regulator to protect that.
Okay. Yeah, so this is new, and we'll see where this goes in the UK. All right, so that'll conclude this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're doing wrong. A little earlier this week for those watching on the live, because
one other thing I just want to put in, it just came out with the MLS All-Star game today. Both Lionel Messi and Jordi Alba have said they will not be playing. Jordi Alba apparently has taken a knock earlier today, and Messi says he's tired. What this means is that, as per league policy, opting not to participate means a 1-game suspension for their respective club. So there you go. Inter Miami making the story about them.
Because, of course, they have. And, I mean, it's the All-Star game, I guess.
It's the All-Star game. Like I said, I don't understand why we have them. I don't care about it. But I do love the stories around it because it's just funny.
Yeah, and if anyone went to the All-Star game just to see Messi again.
Yeah, exactly.
You
right.
to be aware.
Sorry, Austin.
Yeah.
Now you can do your fan protest.
Yeah, or, have file a lawsuit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, that concludes this week's episode. Follow me on X/Twitter, Joshua00, Nathan and Enderic podcast at Terminal City FC. We're all on Blue Sky as well. The Blue Sky for the podcast is also a thing, Terminal City FC. Check out our YouTube channel, Instagram. Sorry, I haven't been posting any clips lately. Been busy, but I hope to get some soon. And check out our writing for Air 51 Sports Network. I actually have a article that I will put up soon as we finish recording about more Canadian players in Europe that could be on the move.
Nice.
So that'll conclude this week's episode. Shorter one this week, but we still had a lot to talk about.
That's the summer for you.
Peace out.
Take care.